then I'm gonna spend a long time, like at least few hours at the gym, and might break it into two separate live streams, or depending how long my phone is gonna last to charge. Yeah, basically, gonna start light. At least things that are considered to be light. And obviously, it is heavy on the feet. One thing you definitely want in your boxing is to be clean your things. And that happens with, eating, reading movement, going out in the morning, which I will do. I will be myself, heading up some morning, very easy routines. Um, I mentioned that before that in the chat there is a nice coastline and there are like sections of pull-up bars. So I'm just gonna try to go there at least on occasion and basically do simple pull-ups and then get my rope, do some rope jumping and basically practicing footwork and moving nice on the feet. So it is the plan basically. Integrating light work with the heavier work. And well, guys, you gotta let me know if the sound. Yeah, I'll just let me know if it's working well. Let me know if the sound is good right now. I don't want it to be, you know what I mean. Hello, how are you? Have a good day. Thank you. I'm doing well. Tell me if the sound is good, if you can hear me properly. Because if you do, I can continue. Okay, sounds. Thanks, Joshua. The sound stream is working well. So basically, what it is all about now, it's going to be light work, and very often people ask me how many hours you spend in the gym, how much do you train? Well, here is the key. You have like a handful trainings throughout the week. Obviously, the frequency increases once you're in the training camp. But heavy training versus light training is it's always less than like the speaking of the value. You would do, let's say, 2-3 times per week, like heavy sessions, whether it's resistance training or boxing, a bag work, that kind of stuff. But the rest would be dedicated to something very light. And in boxing, we consider light this kind of work. Moving on your feet, easy, nice. If you do like 2 sessions a day, even outside of the camp, you can do that actually benefiting your health by waking up in the morning, going in a nice area, and basically just train the footwork and moving back and forth and do separate drills that low key actually gonna contribute into developing that pattern. As I said, one thing that you really want to have nice, easy, and smooth is your footwork. Which country? This is Vietnam, and I'm from Georgia. Same country as Mirav Valishvili and Hilita Puria. So Georgia, not the state, but the country. Thoughts on Tapuria situation and side info? I don't know. I think it's just bad. I stated before that whatever it is, unless it's like a really strong domestic abuse, which I don't think it is, there might be some confrontations. Maybe there was some physical fight between them. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but the thing, guilty for proving guilty is the wrong concept. Like people already speculate, spread rumors, and to me, I think it is a bad thing when adults do that to each other. To me, once you have children, you need to perceive each other as a family. Even if you split for whatever reasons, you need to perceive each other as a family and to a certain extent care for each other's reputation. and have that unwritten rule. So your kids still are you raise your kids in relatively healthy environment with a, you know, that they're exposed to some healthy relationships. Imagine their daughter grows up and learns about all this fucked up situation. I think it's bad. Okay, well, correct footwork is most important. Yes. Oh well, it affects 100%. Like rope skipping should become your, you see, just basically that you do very easy. You can just take the rope and do that anytime, like it's not a problem, you know. So this is not even training for me. This can be a warm up. This is more like a part of the consistent routine. Good cardio as well, depending on which pace you do. Like a light rope skipping is very good in many different ways, specifically for boxing as well. And it helps the coordination and rhythm, specifically oriented on your footwork. So you see, first you gotta learn just how to bounce like this, right? Time it properly so you skip the rope. Then it actually is quite energy consuming to do it this way. So that's why I'm gonna start shifting my balance from foot to another foot. One, two, one, two, one. And you see, with my body movement, you can see which side I'm leaning. Then I can do even differently. I can do hi hi. I'm gonna stop every now and then to quickly look at the chat. No, I don't go. I don't have OnlyFans. Sorry, not sorry. A professional boxer. I mean, trying to get there. I'm definitely looking forward to this at least few professional fights and then see how it goes. But again, okay, from here to 1, 2, 1, 2, side to side, side to side. And from here I can do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see, all of a sudden the distribution of my weight is different, but it helps to let the other side rest for a few seconds, for a couple seconds, back and forth. And that pace is more sustainable when you do it longer. And essentially it helps. That's why boxers can rope skip for 5, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, like easy. Thank you so much. Okay, so here my husband is in chat and I'm gonna pin this. Yep. Let me pin the message. So guys, here is my PayPal, basically channel donation. So if you want to donate, you can do it through the super chats in YouTube, but you also can go to that. Oh, wrong. Hold up. Wrong one. Come on. Yeah. I'm trying. Okay, now it's correct one. So yeah, the message is pinned. Also, guys, let's be respectful. Let's keep the chat clean. My husband is here, so he's also a moderator. Okay, so another thing. So let's. We already learned how to pace like this, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, toe to toe. 1, 2, toe to toe. Right? Now we can add some. You see, I'm just pushing my leg forward. That's it. 1. The principle is the same. It's basically 1, 2, 1, 2. It's kind of like side, center, but with an extended leg. Like 1, center, 1, center. Extend, center, extend, center. Okay, but just keep rope jumping like this is also can get tiring. So we can add a new element. Yes, I will do shadow boxing in a bit. Let me just go through. And one last thing on the top of everything. So what we do here, I bounce to bounce, and now I just swing the rope side, side, and then jump over. And you can do like one hand, like in reality, it looks cool, but in reality, I just rest. I just rest here because I don't have to time and jump and like accurately enough. So here I'm actually resting, but still remain in the bouncing moment. Previously bump and continue. And here, from now on, I can actually go as long as I can by using all these elements. Switch. So after a few hops, doing it like if you trip, just continue. Don't stop bouncing and restart. And those side swings, the rope swings are the ones that will help to pace it for a longer time. So you can do 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to rope skipping. Today, right now, it's not the main training. This is something that I can do light. I don't need to load, I don't need to throw punches. So everything I'm gonna do now is just a movement, heavily footwork oriented, some upper body, some high guard, like keeping hands here and, like I would do in a real fight in sparring. So let's do some shadow boxing. This is I'm Orthodox, by the way. Don't let the camera confuse you. It just flips the picture. This is my left arm. So since I have a left, this is one, 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 one. Like even what I'm doing right now, it's actually an exercise on its own. It's just training fluidity and trying new things and just experiment a little bit with it. Okay, so when we do shadow boxing, obviously there's a freestyle. I have quite a wide stance because of my habits, but I very often, one of the things I want to do and want to be fluent with is just deloading my foot, my right foot, so I don't get stuck only in this position. Because if I'm here in this position, yes, I can do moving, I can throw this, and I move a lot to the side of the leg. So I would do like pam pam, pam pam, like I would move in a classic manner. But there is already a pattern that can be read, and a good boxer gonna adapt to it. That's why in the light work, take it as playful as possible and break your own patterns. So now, instead of doing this, I can do, for example, I can train southpaw. So I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna do southpaw. As much, I'm not most fluent, I'm not very fluent in southpaw. It feels awkward at times, but I'm just gonna play with it. Well, slow down a little bit, bump, 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 and get back. I'm from Georgia. Oh, I'm sorry for your ankle. Oh, uh, yeah. So be careful with stuff like that. I hope you recover soon. What do you call a real fight? A boxing match or a street fight? In a street fight, you throw something heavy and you run away. And in the first place, you avoid stuff like that. So yes, I understand the difference. Georgian, but okay. So in the lighter days, so I'm just basically playing and dancing a little bit. And this is not even a training, it's just pump. Training different patterns. Again, move forward, pump. It's good sometimes to be able to deload your back leg from the classic stance, right? I'm not saying that all of that I can do in the real fight, in the boxing match, but just training your legs to move easily helps you to increase the ability to switch. So let's say if I work from like this, like that, from distance, it makes sense actually to, once I get closer, I can even go cross foot and just relax my right leg. Whoever is training boxing, you will relate to the fact that sometimes you do that on back, you do it in shadow boxing, but it's the hardest thing is to put it in actual sparring. And once you're, even if it's a regular sparring, it gets like you're too tense to be able to do that. Well, that's kind of the main goal, to break that tension, and that's where majority of the training comes. It's actually your feet, bouncing, rhythm, a little bit of dancing even. Trust me, it will contribute. And obviously, you need to put your mind to trying to, every time you go sparring, that's why it's preferable to do light technical sparrings with people who will work with you technically without that much damage like you would get in the actual fight, because you try those new things. So if I can do this, like that means my feet can move that way, right? Like I can bounce, I can move. I mean, I've been dancing myself before boxing, so I do have a footwork. But how do I get to the point that I'm able to use it? Relax. I already have that habit. That's my like a main position. But once I get in, so I need to relax my feet a little bit more because I can do shifts. It's harder to do the mata shifts if I can have that leg here, dragging it all the way there. It becomes difficult. That's why it makes sense to deload, and the easier you move on your feet, the better it is. I'm 25 years old. Hi Italy. Hello, hello. Guys, feel free to share where you're from. I would go as low as possible, like 48, 50, 59, 51. I would start from 48, I get 49. That's around the, obviously it also depends on the event and opponent, but I'm gonna go lower than I'm right now. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, even this now, I'm not saying that you're gonna do that in the fight, but being able to move like this and actually train playfully your footwork gonna help to gradually implement it in the actual sparring, in an actual fight. I was saying that I'm gonna implement a lot of the footwork, and specifically the shifts, the matter shifts, focusing a lot on that one specifically before the Saturday, which is technically tomorrow. But that's what we're gonna do, because that's one thing I want to implement in my sparring game. Someone mentions about YouTube boxing. I understand, but I'm also all for longevity. I myself want to do some professional fights. And I'm not even telling you how far I will go. I just want to, whatever I show, whatever experience I have from the amateur boxing and experience in coaching, physical preparation, recovery, that kind of stuff. I just want to test it on myself. It's kind of like a challenging journey. But it's also for longevity. Even if you never compete, but you still do those exercises, you still work on your coordination, you do different exercises, you move your feet, you build new patterns. It's going to help you on your journey in your longevity and health. Hi, Australia. Amateur record, 5 fights. I didn't have a lot of official fights. I had way more open ring tournaments. My husband is from Norway. Okay. Here, so let me just move it a little bit forward. Practicing shifts. So what is my problem sometimes on sparring? As much as I actually learned to move my head and keep my guard and use it properly, and like I'm happy about that improvement. Defense is very important in boxing, but my feet sometimes get stuck, and that's one of the biggest goals to me. Just relax, deload, and be able to switch without worrying too much about it. In a distance, I would go like this, I very often go to stomach, palm, always catch anyone because pretty much everyone is taller than me. So that one works. Stomach, palm, palm. Reflecting a lot of punches, try to add up some body movement. Shorter, just relax. But the position is here. My goal is to get in the middle range / close range and play from there long term. I can play a little bit on the distance, but if I would want to win, I need to pressure. And sometimes I just get stuck in this position, okay? So in reality, I would want to deload, and once I'm here ready to do shifts, I can do easy, so I don't need to drag my foot from behind. For a moment, I can even go cross foot, then I throw, shift, boom. Okay? It's a one variation when I shift, I land a punch at the same time. This one can go as a punch, can go as the leverage, and then hook. Okay? And same. Actually, I did the opposite. Same from this side, palm. And another variation is I would just go here like this. For example, I do jab. I get in the middle range. And from here, I actually pull that jab back. Keep my guard up because I might not do a perfect sleep. And then I would not even have to. You can just get it here. So shift. That is like so as long, to me, that's the hardest part. This is okay. Once it's trained, got the angle, and then left hook or like two hooks. Okay, so again, two variations. Pum, pum, pum. I went to the cross and then I did pum, pum. In this case, I set up the jab, blinding jab, already have an intention to pull, shift, same movement on the feet. And obviously the other way around too. And trust me, guys, I wish that's the whole point. The way I can do that and I train it just playfully with the light work, I want to take that and be able to do in the spars. The better I can do that, even if I take 60% of it and go to improve my sparring game, being able to use my feet easy and light, that's already a huge win. Hello. Okay, let's work on here. So again, the exercises you can do for the matter shifts, for example. You can do pacing just to train that pattern, okay? Sleep, hold up. There, like you can just do like this, obviously, but what you would do most likely in the fight, and you would want to pace it that way, you would do sleep, shift, punch, sleep, shift, punch, sleep, shift, punch, sleep, punch. And I don't have to go fast. I just doing the movement, getting my legs used to that movement. And you see how I'm working around it. That is a key moment because you might go this, you might hop off out to outward, which is obvious, doesn't make sense. You want to be right here on the side, close enough, bump. Okay, so I'll do 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and relax my feet in the meantime I do that. You can do faster, obviously. Sometimes I forget, but keeping that hand is one thing, but just learning how to, whilst you sleep, you kind of raise it up a little bit and it becomes automatic. That little detail might be very beneficial because once it's a reflex, well, you're going to do that automatically. You might not need to think about too much of it. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for being here. Gonna drink water. Okay, let's do a little bit back, moving back to the rope skipping. Another reminder, guys, this type of training you can do. Set the morning times early in the day. Start the day from that. Find a nice garden, park. In my case, it's having a beautiful beach and coastal area with the pull-up bars. And that's all I can do. I can do that only for that specific pattern building without really, I would burn calories, obviously would get my movement in, but most importantly, it's building that pattern. And I'm going through that journey myself right now. So it's just me sharing what I'm doing. Yes, multiple punches. You're right. A frequency is important too. It just right now, I still think that before just, you might be able to learn just to throw punches like this. And I can do that. I can do it like this. It's fine. On the bag as well. Even that one needs to be, when you do that type of light work, go easy. In sparrings too, don't try to commit too much in every punch. You're not going to be able to do 100% in each and every punch. That's what's called timing. But before you learn like that, the footwork is like a foundation of it. I can do that same in the same spot, like this. But if I'm not easily moving around and cutting angles, essentially, just someone who times better, preserves the energy better, making me waste my energy by throwing those punches, just simply controlling even with the footwork and a good guard position. This is how it ends up. So we need to physically prepare, and there are like specific dedicated trainings. Trainings for that. I'm not stating anything against that. But the higher game is about actually being smart. You might not have the best cardio at that point, but you might have a better timing. And the combination of preserving your energy, time things well, use the guard, use the footwork, let your opponent waste their energy, being in a fight and flight and throwing a lot of punches. That is actually a higher level of the boxing game. But obviously, physical preparation is 100% a necessity. Nothing against that. But today we're talking about the light work, almost like a playful routine that you can basically do like every day. You can do that every day and enjoy. And even if you don't compete, you can build a beautiful routine for your longevity, health, focus, skill learning. Well, with heavyweight, it's still a bit different, but even today, you can see why is Usyk winning. Why? Because first of all, he has a superior footwork. Second is the timing. Okay, keep scrolling up. Look at the chat quickly. Or when you shadow box, then slow down. If anything hurting, then you're just not adapted to it. So I suggest do some good warm up to your lower back, your knees, and then once it starts hurting, just stop or slow down. Shadow boxing doesn't have to be like only this. Shadow boxing, like everything else, you take it and you can actually train one combo. You can just be like bum bum. That's it. That's you just train 1 2 with a little shuttle in and backwards. Like you can break it down on the tasks. Howdy, Kyla. Or Kayla. Sorry, like Kyla is like a very Georgian way to say it. Aha, good to see you here. Saying hi before I'm turning in. Okay, you gotta get some good sleep. Hi from Singapore. Hi from Vietnam. Do you practice kicks at all? No, not at this point. I mean, I did karate, so I technically know the technique, but I'm not practicing at this point. I'm hyper focusing on boxing when it comes to my training. Does karate white stance work in boxing like MVP style? Oh, interesting. Maybe for taller people like MVP, which was incredibly long reach, both on legs and his arms, maybe the wider stance might be good for the balance, and still it doesn't cut too much from the height. When you're smaller, when you're a shorter boxer, it's interesting because I actually came because in karate we would stand all the way like this and we would do something, something like that. And when I started, I literally that was my stance. It was way too wide. Then it obviously a boxing stance is different. A classic boxing stance, you go a lot pushing on your back leg, and then you can like once only when you throw the cross or a rear arm, you get in a straight up position. But mostly you go under because you can do weaves. You shift forward if you need that kind of stuff. But there are also cross foot, like you can be more neutral stance, and you can just go like that and just shift and switch between. Well, that is the key, actually, being able to switch and change those styles. But yeah, karate style is depends. Like for taller person, might be working a little bit like that wider sense, but generally, and boxing has that very specific stance and balanced weight distribution. Yeah, yeah. Even pro knockout artist shadow boxing slow and smooth fashion. Look at the Poatan. Yeah, I mean, even though he's not boxer, but it works same for with MMA. Okay, good to see you guys. No, I don't wrestle. Not at this point. I did some wrestling. I did a little bit of everything, but boxing has been my main focus and something that I'm got better naturally and just when you commit more time. When you commit more time to one specific thing, you obviously get better at it. Okay, let's do a little bit more rope skipping. Okay, so back to the rope skipping. I was just saying, first time I did it. So for those who want to learn, first you just learn how to time it and pace it, right? Obviously skipping over the rope once it gets close to your feet. Then you learn how to do one side to side, side to side, side to side. And then you go 1 2 side, side, 1 2 side, side. And then you change those paces. Reason why? Because it helps you to rest your other side while the another side is you're distributing your weight one or another side. And that's how you build up that gradually get better at pacing in the rope skipping. That's why boxers can do like a long periods of time. Even if you trip, You see, I still continue like nothing, and I go there. And one thing I add is the uh, spinning my rope on the sides. That is actually a rest. It looks cool, but it gives me a, like if I want to rest, this is how I would do that without stopping. And then you can get, like, this is kind of like a baseline, helps your coordination, helps your timing, and then you can go speed ups, and then you go under double unders and that kind of stuff, you know. That also helps your footwork. The more fluent you get in the rope skipping, at least mastering those basic classic stuff, you can go way more advanced than I am right now, of course, the better it's gonna influence your footwork. Yeah. Then always helping us strengthen our bodies and brains with certain nuggets of wisdom. Always, always happy to share. Always happy to learn. You're very fast for a girl. Keep saying for a girl because everybody knows the science behind this guy. If you can maintain the speed while throwing your combos for long, it could be a problem. Oh, it's a very good point actually. And there are some boxers. I was actually looking at Caroline Dubois yesterday, and she's good. She's actually tough, very tough one. And her frequency, her power, her um, distribution, the energy distribution is crazy, and it's very cool to watch her. And you have Katie Tell, you have many others. Obviously, there are a lot of female boxers that I'm not familiar with yet at this point, but I will be more the more I practice and the more I actually compete. But one thing I learned, and that's a good point, men can preserve the explosivity uh, way more because you basically have more fast twitched fibers. Obviously, testosterone, high production of testosterone, muscle density, all that kind of stuff, right? So basically, yeah, that effect. That's one of the reasons men versus women. Even if I have very good timing, and even if I can use, I might be able to outbox you, but just with the timing. Timing wins over everything. Uh, like the fight that I remember one of the fights, and one of the recent fights I was rewatching was Pacquiao versus uh, uh, Marquez. And Marquez won one of those fights. It was third or fourth fight. They already knew each other quite well. He won because of time. He wasn't faster. He wasn't stronger. He wasn't better on feet, but he won. He knocked out Pacquiao flat. Why? Because of the timing. So here's the thing. As a woman, I don't want to waste too much energy. So I rather do like comfortable, basically just playing. Like right now I'm playing, and it's possible. Like you've seen Terence Crawford, he does a lot of that. Lomachenko, like a lot of boxers, they don't go like a loading all the time. They actually time, they set up, they blind their opponent, keep their guard up, time, you know? I don't even have to go hard. But then once I start learning about the openings, obviously I need to train it in advance, like hard punchers or like boom, boom, like things that I can use, finding those gaps and openings, and this is where I explode. And if I can pace it that way, that I move easy, I relax. Obviously, I should do that in the sparring. You know, that's the best point, and then in the fight. But then, boom, I have, for example, stomach, harder one, boom, boom, just two straight punchers at the maximum. You find those gaps, you actually apply that power, and all of a sudden, that creates even more confusion. And then, a lot of times, when you already broke your opponent, you can watch any fight, men, women, higher level, lower level. You can see that at some point they just go for hunting 1, 2, like simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And then if your opponent cannot really escape from that cascade, you don't even need to within it. You already know, you already trapped them, and this is where you that boxing back training, like ha 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 da 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 da, basically committing more to it in the right time when you're 100% sure that that's ending for your opponent. This is when you do that. And especially as a woman, going too hard, too tense in the beginning, just gonna wear your own self too fast. Whew. But if you can do that like someone like Wild, it's definitely effective. I do believe that actually majority of boxers don't have as much. So that's why you have some better boxers. And one of the factors, they have better footwork. That's one of the biggest factors. Then obviously they have good timing, they have their specific technique, they have good defense, and the combination it creates superior boxers. And then there's everyone else who might be someone a good boxer, but they just a little bit behind with their footwork. All of a sudden, that's it. They can't win that fight. So focusing on all those elements and just gradually, have fun while building it up, learning. I'm having fun right now. Like I'm not even tired, but I know that I'm actually one step closer to relax my goddamn feet. And on Saturday, I'll try to do those elements, like one element at a time. On Saturday sparring, one thing I'll try to do, relax my feet more, even go like a cross foot, and then leverage myself to do the shifts. Not the damaging hard punches, there's no point. Also, right now, they're most of the guys, so there's no point to. I can throw, as I said, some, try to find openings, work a lot on the stomach too, harder punches on the core. That is helpful. Really, really does the good work accumulatively. But mostly it's about me getting used to manipulating the distance, use my defense, weave, just without the much effort, and actually enjoy the process. And next step would be being able to do the same in the actual fight. And that's okay, like when you have a good guard, boom, I just let them punch in the beginning, and I just respond. I find the distance. I let them spend more energy. Basically, just counter, get in, pressure a little bit, try different things, but playfully, not having the barrier in my head that someone's gonna kill me. Because if it becomes like this, well, your face is there. it becomes like an open target. Okay, good to see you here in chat, guys. Okay, I'm reading through stuff here. Okay, what do we have? Anything that makes sense? Drill hip rotation. Well, very simple. Slow down. Go back to the basics. Look from the side. So I'm in the stance, classic stance, jab, cross. You see? This is your hip rotation movement. That's what you want to do. And obviously, because you don't want to be stuck here, you want to be able to extend this shoulders. That's why you help with the hips. And it also, the foot is important here. Because like you cannot do it if your feet are stuck to the ground, right? You will need to rotate. And the faster you go, you don't do more, like you don't do full motion all the time anymore. But what you do is, the faster you go, you still have that, like you're used to it. So you basically can do that. And at the moments when you have go to more concentrated punches, let's say you already damage your opponent, you go for a knockout, then you can do 1-2, like full hip rotation one, while you throw those simple 1-2s. Okay. Okay, I keep scrolling up. It's about boxing here. Boxing, yes. Yes, I have some punches. Well, let's try it. Actually, not a bad idea. I'm gonna just stand here. Switch the camera. So you can actually see me in my original stance properly. Just making sure that it's well oriented, like this. Oh, cool. Former professional boxer from US. Right now I'm like a 55, but I would fight like maybe 48, like lower weight classes, to have a better advantage basically, and then try maybe go a little bit higher and see where it's a perfect weight class for me. Uh, you gotta train to survive and stay healthy and still stay sane, basically, always. Okay, I'm gonna go light on the heavy back. This basically is considered to be light training. Everything I did so far, it's me explaining and showing stuff and deloading my feet, trying to just be comfortable on the feet. And that's why I was saying recommend doing that. You can do that daily in some nice area like a park, um, on the coast on the beach, and just do that. Just move. Just do slower, faster shadow boxing. So you basically build patterns here. So now the boxing bag, even here, I just don't rush. You see, I go outside. And I can just keep training one element at a time. And then I do like jab. When I do more concentrated, I can throw like basically fake jabs, ball and jabs, load, and then do relatively full range hip rotation and do that type of work. Starting from the further, because I also want to be able to step in, shuttle in, and then pivot. Then imagine pump. At some point, very often you throw a punch, you're gonna get a counter punch, right? So doing movements like jab, just sit a little bit, and then pump, pump, get there, and get back again. Okay. And one thing that I'm training right now is basically relaxing my feet. And from here, I do like, for example, okay, being able to basically move around, almost like sticking, gluing to my opponent. So, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. Well, boxing, I did amateur boxing, then it was a hobby. Now I want to do at least few professional fights, and then we'll see how it goes. It's like a personal challenge here. No comfort, just swimming and training. Not bad at all, but I still think it's good. It really develops your coordination and confidence in a different way. You become like environmentally aware almost when you do combat sports. Footwork, she or he won't be expecting those hands. Well, that's the main point. Getting there. I know I can do that. I know I can move easily. I've been dancing, practicing dancing. Like I can use my legs. But the point is to relax and learn how to do that in actual sparring and then obviously in actual fights. I'm from Georgia. I am from Georgia. But okay, a little bit one more time, a heavy bag. Then I'm gonna get back to uh, basically doing some footwork drills without the heavy bag. So also the point is here not to get tired too much because I have I want to have more more training later today. So okay, for example, let's take more simple combos. You can pace out a little bit with the footwork. In this case, when you're learning a combo, you can just do more concentrated jab, hook, jab, right hook, left hook, and from here, try to always go under. It's a good habit. And after like at least 1, 2, 3, boom, something like that. So just doing like 1, 2, 3, standing here. You might have a specific work where you just do like a harder work, being able to create explosive momentum. But when we're training habits, like the combos you would use in your sparring, very often you want to leave that hand left or front hand, depending what's your stance, and use it as the push, as the shield. Moving like this is the hard part. Even me at this point, I noticed that I do better waves and actually time it well. I would throw like bump and go down because bump, and all of a sudden I go down because I practice it that way. But still sometimes hard to perceive how deep you go. And this is on its own also a good exercise. You can just stand, get in a stance, more frontal, neutral. Basically learn how to go ahead, turn off your legs and really do that fast. So there are a lot of things that come up that you can't do, but sometimes you gotta split it down and focus on one thing at a time. Like I've been saying, even though today I did a lot of stuff, now I'm gonna go back to the shifts that I really want to implement. So that is my one thing at this time, this week, that I want to try to do my best to implement it in the sparring session on Saturday. My first professional fight, I got put on my back. I did win the fight in the third round. It was very inspirational because things like that happen. But get up. You never know. Like even a knockdown, even a damage, doesn't determine things 100%. And fight nickname, not yet. I'm not sure. I mean, my channel's called the Rat Head, but that might be too banal. Oh, it's called Secondhand Smoke. That's cool. The Diana the Direwolf. You know what? When it comes to that, I'll make a poll, and you guys will help me to choose the name or nickname. Okay, well, let's get back to footwork again. Not going too heavy, not going too much on the heavy back right now. You can do light work on heavy back, of course, but now the focus is the footwork and doing it as playfully as possible. Thanks, Kayla. You have an amazing, well, you sleep well first and have an amazing day after. I was a great counterpuncher. Oh, that's cool. I think counterpunching is something that I might be successfully using against someone who is like not very big at the height advantage and the reach advantage. It usually doesn't work that me, at least in the classic long range. But countering, you should be able to counter one way or another. If you are practicing boxing, and you, depending on your body type, it depends like the distance, but there are different ways how to counter. So it's basically training your boxing IQ here as well. Let me see if it works here. Okay, that's fine. So I was doing shifts. So relaxing my foot again. Bum, bum. So now I just go on the value, the amount, and repetitions. And rest. There's no need to get tired on this one. Whew. Want to train to more Muay Thai? Good. You should. Ah. Uh, yeah. So looks very simple, but it's a good exercise on its own, as I said. Again, relaxing. I can just go in my classic stance, palm, palm, and explode. And I was saying again, I'm going to repeat the setups. One setup is simple jab for me to go from the left side. Left jab, jab, pull it backwards, step in. Once I step in, I can do the shift. That's like an easier part. And then a hook or two hooks. One, two, from the side. Obviously, you manipulate here. You can do bum, bum, bum. Again, you can, like here, I would leave this hook. I just sit down and come up again. So it takes obviously some endurance and flow, but here's the key: finding that flow, finding that rhythm. Will increase that rhythm gradually. I'm married. I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi, and I'm 25. Whew. What do you do for speed? Well, you need, as much as it might be surprising, but you need uh, you need to do not only speed training, like learn how to coordinate and go fast, but actually do strength training. Strength training being improving has been improved my uh, frequency, my accuracy quite well. So strength training, less than 5 repetitions of the resistance training, obviously targets things like pull-ups, landmines, deeps, like more like a compound exercises, obviously squats or leg press, something, whatever targets your entire body. The compound exercises trigger your neural system better. But the principle is to do less than 5 repetitions. So when you see people doing just weights like this, I think that is a useless exercise. I've done it. To me, it's useless because of the frequency. If I want the frequency in the boxing pattern, I'd rather do this and have extra weights and do it like this way. Okay, that's how I would want. I would want do. I would do a perfect boxing oriented exercises. Whether this, it kind of says, oh, you got to push and helps to work, but not in that setting, not in that frequency. But when you do landmine, boom, and heavier weights, yeah, it makes you stronger. So you need muscle to actually be fast, not only the technique. I never told you my cousin was a professional boxer, but he started fighting outside of the ring and drinking alcohol. But he has a good. As a junior, he was Australia champion. Well, sad to hear that he went down that path, but that's well, that skill is helpful in life. Just you can. Unfortunately, people and boxers do that. Some of them ruin that. As much people like me and a lot of boxers I've seen, especially the boys, were saved from the streets thanks to boxing. It can go vice versa too. Unfortunately, some people go learn and then go back to the street to use that skill set for not the best purposes. But it always ends bad. Uppercut technique. Actually, I've been wanting to use this thing here. It's a little bit tall, but it also can show you. I'm gonna put on the glass And I can show you how, as a shorter boxer, because that thing is positioned uh, higher, higher than I am. So you see, so imagine someone being that tall. Okay, so they're like, but that's quite natural. There might be women that are as tall, skinnier than I am, but taller. So let me get the gloves. So here I'm gonna show you there is a perfect setting for the uppercut. So we can do that. Okay. Okay. So I can do, well, depending on my position, but it basically can be one. So if you see, I'm not doing this. Not not like that. Okay. The uppercut is basically punch from the trajectory is from this point, from the bottom to up. This is basically an uppercut. That's why you don't really need too much of the swing. And you have hooks, and you see, I have to position myself quite high because you see how where it goes, but it makes sense for me because I would be like, okay, jab, something like this. Hello. Right. So yeah, uh, I would basically shoulder should touch your body for the power generation. You're talking about this position. Like, I mean, I try to be more closed off. Some boxers are more relaxed, but you gotta see, look at it that way. Someone who is taller, they don't need to keep them shoulders like and aim, get used to punching high. Whether for someone like me, yeah, someone like me, you see, come like I actually need to be able to, well, this thing a little bit should be rounded because you wouldn't go necessarily like it, obviously. You can go that way, but it's more like slight angle, and there's not enough curve here, but it's okay. That's one of the reasons I didn't punch hard because I don't want to hurt my wrists, basically. Perfect combo for road rage. I don't know. The most common I've seen was just 1, 2. That's it, like a boxer. That's it. Usually that ends everything. You get the nightmare of getting knocked out? No, not really. I mean, if you get knocked out, you actually don't realize. I think liver shots are more painful. But I think what makes me more calmer is the lower weight class goes, the more it's about speed. And obviously, there is some power, and might be someone who is a super good puncher. But when you start to be becoming confident in everything you do, your footwork and distance control, you're confident in your guard. You're like, oh, let them punch. It's fine. I'll let them punch for a while, and they essentially they don't even punch. They just get on my guard. So all these elements, once you get confident in your endurance, your pacing, your timing, well, you become more like you become more playful. You do like a chess game. You are like a specifically oriented on that, and you're in a flow state. Nice hair. Yes, I'm taken. I have a husband. Uh, by the way, guys, there is my husband left the link for the PayPal donations. It's just some people ask me if they can donate for the channel. So here it is. PayPal donations are available. Obviously, you can do the super chat through the YouTube as well. But now in the comments, you can see the pinned message, which is for PayPal. Okay, jab, hook, cross, uppercut. Jab, jab, hook. Well, that's the thing. Okay, jab, hook. Then I have to go back, cross, uppercut. Okay, you cannot just do 1, 2. It's not very comfortable, at least for me. So let me move this thing a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I would rather do jab, cross, hook, retreat, cross, uppercut. Okay, so it's like, okay, I just extended my arm. It wasn't a punch, it was just while I was retreating. Sometimes I just throw my punch forward, but I think it's a good habit. Do you do MMA? No, boxing, but I watch MMA, I watch UFC specifically. And with another combo, more like synchronized combo, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, like things like that, or you can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So there's some synchronized combos. There's some pace breaking too. You might be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you break pace a little bit, or you make it more complicated, and well, all of a sudden that just helps to distract and confuse your opponent, and yeah, find what works against them. No, I'm not lefty. I'm a righty. Don't let the camera confuse you. This is just a phone camera and it flips the picture. This is my left arm, so I am an orthodox. Yeah, I'm an orthodox, camera flips. Okay. Let me move this. Also, once you're already in the front distance, also be more relaxed. After throwing punch, like you see what I did? I did like 1, 2. I just extended this one. I put again their guard. I shift all of the sudden and then I throw the punch. It also can be stomach first and left hook. So yeah, there are various ways and possibilities to do. It's about learning how to execute them efficiently, and I'm on that journey right now. Habib or Islam? Respect to Habib, but at this point, Islam is already at the GOAT status, in my opinion. It's still, I mean, he's going to secure it. If he walks through the welterweight, there are welterweight divisions getting very interesting, so there might be a couple actual threats for Islam, and it's fine. I think it's going to be exciting to see. But if he walks through all of that, he's arguably he can retire. Which one of your hands is strongest? Well, you know what? I actually think it's jab, because in the beginning jab is not as strong, and obviously from the jab position you might not contribute too much power. But because I learned using like frequency wise, my jab is way better mastered. So it's like bum, and if I shift from the angle when I throw left, I mean my right is heavy too, but I think my left is more slick. John Jones have the best fight IQ. Yeah, one of the best for sure. Top list. I don't know. Paddy versus Gage was for interim, so far as I'm aware. Ilya got taken out by a woman. Be careful, guys. Yeah, it's my husband saying, by the way. Yeah, it's just ridiculous what people do. They too much individualism, too much selfishness. Me. Guys, once you have kids, even if you get divorced, you are family. You know, you must be a family, and at the very least, you need to care about each other, about like each other's reputation, that kind of stuff. I understand there are situations where there is a real violence in the relationship, and well, in that case, you gotta protect your kids. The one who is in the sane side of the story, they just, you gotta protect the kids. Unfortunately, sometimes from another parent, but mostly people just do that out of the nonsense. Like, why would you do that to your child? Because she's gonna they have a common child, the girl, the little baby girl, but she's gonna grow up and find out about it, which sucks. What do you think? Boxing time, position changing path. It's good. By playing with the minds of the others, get victory. Yeah, I mean, there are many ways. Can you use all of that? What is your favorite combination? I'll show you. Why you? Okay, so here, well, one of the combos again, and I'm trying to use that more efficiently, is basically like, so something like 1, 2, 3, bump. Basically just a shift. Bump. So you see, I can extend. It's safer, in my opinion, once I do shift after throwing, leaving the punch. Same on the left side, you know. That kind of stuff. Those combos are getting one of my favorite ones because it's just something that works. It's just about learning how to do it in the real sparring and a real fight situation. So I'm just training and sharing it with you guys. If you see that in the future in one of my fights, you see me doing that, well, you will be able to play it back and see how I was actually practicing it. What do you think have best boxing style? The best boxers are usually the ones that actually acquire different styles and can distort and shapeshift. So essentially, it ends up to be a boxing IQ. I mean, peekaboo, Philly shell is cool, Mexican style is cool, Soviet style is cool. But if you take a single style, it always there is always a style that counters it, or elements of the other style that counters it. You know what I mean? So the more equipped it is a boxer, and the more they advance their timing by having basically all of those, like the pieces of the in their style arsenal, so they can shift. So for example, they can work on the counters, but all of a sudden they can go like this, and they can adapt what needed. They can change the stance if needed, or change it for a certain combo just because it lands, and opponents cannot figure out what to do against it. It's almost like a chess game. It's not one single combination that you like. It's about learning as many as possible. So then you can use your IQ, your thinking, your strategy, and put some mindset to it. Boxing IQ like Terence Crawford, like Nicolino Loche, with uh, like Roy Jones Jr., Brenna Hopkins, um, many others, Muhammad Ali. Uh, as much as I love Tyson, but Tyson was just, he mastered pickup perfectly. So it was not only IQ. I'm not saying he had a lower IQ or something, but because he was focusing, concentrating against on this one single style, and he was like executing it almost perfectly, and it worked pretty much in all of his prime era. But here is the thing, peekaboo, where's your energy down? You cannot do perfect peekaboo for entire 12 rounds, because you're gonna start slowing down to a certain extent. And if there is someone who survives those, someone like Ali, that's one of the things. When people say Muhammad versus Tyson, who would win? Well, there are two scenarios. I said before that, I think Tyson would win just because he would catch him on the knockout. Like Prime Tyson was knocking out everyone flat in the heavyweight division. But if Ali, with his IQ and his ability, would survive first 5 rounds, well, then that's the thing. He would start taking initiative. and Tyson would just basically start slowing down. So it's every style has its counter style. How to have a good defense? Like people spend a lot of time in the offense, but defense is less talked about. I think in the boxing area, in the boxing, in that world, actually, defense is talked quite a lot. It's just, it's just what the regular people see. They see the offense, and offense is something that you train. Obviously, you one of the first things you train is throw punches, right? You're not, you're not standing just like this and learning that. But then at some point, um, it has to be you have to put a focus to a defense and actually finding a good defense for you. I like to keep my hands up, but I'm not doing this, of course, right? I keep my hands up, then I can go longer guard if I need to. So I like keep like to me using this, unless it's just playing with your opponent once they're already tired and defeated mentally, it doesn't work for me. I'm not a Prince Nassim Hamed type of boxer. There are some boxers that are like just blessed with their, how they move, they see, they're naturally having that gift. Well, I'm not one of those, but I like using my hands. I realize that, like when I keep my shoulder like that, even one of my sparring live streams, that was first one that I managed to live stream. You can see I I go under, and a lot of punches sleep through that shoulder, which is a little bit on the Philly shell too. But instead of Philly shell, it's more like going down, and then from here you can do the same. So I'm aiming towards more of that type of stuff. Good guard, and flaking some of the punches, and being able to move in that setting. Just relax fluently. Try to time it, not just move without no reason, but time it. So the defense can be an offense. Defense can be, I don't have to go necessarily on a defensive position or defensive footwork. I can have a good defense while going on the offense. And what that's the main thing. You gotta be able to have a good defense, whether you come on your opponent or you retreat. I started karate, and then I just moved to boxing, and I loved it. In Vietnam, Nha Trang, that's where me and my husband are right now. Okay, let's do some shadow boxing. Let's go. Yeah, let me just look through the chat. What's opinion Jones versus Dominic Reyes? That's the controversial one in the Jones career, 100%. Yeah, my husband says Reyes was robbed. Well, where is he? It's another story, but the fact is that that was very controversial fight. Call it whatever you want. But you got no chance if it's a guy. Guys, I'm not competing with you. You can chill down. It's sport. Okay. Uh, what's my counter? Well, my counters again. I want to get in, so I would want to be there. And to me, I just I would get the punch, wheel under, for example. At that point, there is opening. Maybe retreat a little bit on the middle range just to have more leverage, a good punch, harder punches, or basically go shorter, like on the close distance. That is also countering. And obviously, if you have long distance counter, boom, something like that. But that would, I'll be honest, that would work against someone who is at least my height, or maybe a little bit taller. But the reach wise, there's not very big difference. And also depending how they use their hands. There are some people who come on you like that. They don't really execute their arms well enough. And, just doing like a counter like that while retreating and then practice those kind of stuff. That also is a good thing. Wow, just found this channel. You sim, uh, Jansen, new subscriber. Thank you, Fly. Appreciate it. Okay. Same race, look, win against Jones, but tired in the championship round, and that type of dominance race very well. I mean, it was a little bit different types of fight. You can look at it that way. It's you feel free to do that, but race versus Jones was a little bit different than Merab. Like against Merab versus Yan won. Yan won. Despite Merab throwing twice as many punches as he did, he won. Okay. Okay, do you like this? A little bit sometimes, but I'm not. Just a little bit of dynamic stretching for the warm up. Not really stretching too hard, and I don't recommend to do that. There are other ways, like massage therapy and things like that. That is more. That kind of playing is also good. Pacing and doing like a rhythmic type of, almost like dancing, using boxing, shadow boxing movements. You got moves. Thanks. Whew. I mean, yes and no regarding championship rounds. It is important, but you have the system scored for a reason, the way it is in the UFC. 5 rounds as a championships, 2-2-1. So still can be split decision, unanimous, and again, you gotta really dominate champion usually, especially if it's a beloved champion like John Jones being a star boy for a long time. It takes a lot to get there. I'm not saying Grace managed to do that, but objectively speaking, in UFC, it's not exactly how it's counted. There are a lot of times where the people lose the last round, but they don't. They actually won by scoring the first 3-4. How long you boxing? Totally 10 years, but it was like amateur boxing for a couple years, and then it was like how you call it. I trained for myself for quite some time, like all these years on and off. And now this year, I decided to get back to it. Why not? Uh, so what do we have here? 1 second. Your weight. My weight is right now 55, and I want to go like 48, 40, 49. That weight amount. Bodybuilding and boxing can be combined, but it's really not ideal as you need to lots of rest after overloading muscles and letting them grow by resting and eating. That's my husband saying, and that's correct. However, we combine strength training, and it actually really complements boxing training, in my opinion. Are you natural talented for fighting sports? I don't think so. I don't think I was, but I think I have good coordination when it comes to moving. It just I never put thoughts to it. Like now, last 2 years, I've been watching more fights. I actually been studying and understanding more. And that's why my progress been significantly faster, rapid within the this year than even when I did amateur boxing. Because before I was young, I didn't know how the nutrition works. Not only boxing, but also resistance training, recovery, the supplementation, the nutrition, all that kind of stuff. I didn't know how that works. And of course, I didn't know what is the boxing IQ term. Like, never, no one ever mentioned that. They thought that, yeah, you need to do this combo and you need to do this, but well, I never been told to what is the, boxing IQ. So you gotta give an athlete a direction for them to start thinking about that and trying to understand how it works rather than just do this and you know okay, just do this. And sometimes that specific thing that you learn actually doesn't work against certain styles. So being smarter in the preparation, that helps. That really helps to increase your, when you commit to the right work, right amount of rest. You don't stress. You are playful, but you know how much to dedicate to the harder training to progress. All of a sudden, it becomes different journey. Do you sparring? Yes, I started sparring. We have a technical good sparrings up there on Saturday. So basically tomorrow there are going to be another live stream, sparring live stream, and I will. Not tomorrow, sorry, Saturday. On Saturday, and you can, yeah, you can see. I'll try. That's one of the things I want to implement. I want to deload my leg and actually be more fluid, like when using more of the shifts. This is my goal now. This is my primary goal, to take that element, implement in my boxing at this point. There are a lot of things I can do on the back. There are a lot of things I can like experiment during the training. But when you take that piece that you already trained on general training, you take it and you implement one at a time to actually be able to perform it in a sparring session and in a fight, obviously. Okay. Yeah, sparring with a helmet, sparring with a mouse guard. It's not the perfect thing, but it still helps, so it's better to do that way. Okay. Two. We are. Breathing with a mouse guard is not easy. You gotta get used to it. And even in the beginning, like last sparring, I actually managed to pace myself well, meaning that I didn't have to stop or dying in the earlier rounds. And that is also good practice. Learn how to do this even through the light sparrings or medium sparrings. When you first rounds, you don't really bother that much, even if it's a rotation sparring and you have different opponents. Try to at least look at it that way. You have, let's say, 3 minutes. 2 out of those, you just counter, you work on the defense. There is nothing wrong with not really throw that many punches, but actually take it on your guard, relax, get comfortable, move, counter in the moment, find a good position. And then in the last minute, you become more like boom, catching. And then you keep that normal pace that you can sustain for the majority of rounds. And let's see, last 2 rounds, or even last round in the beginning, you go harder. You really go high intensity like you would do in an actual fight. This is how you would pace yourself. Then, obviously, Well, next time you do that successfully, next sparring, do same type of pacing, catching, analyzing, and then a defense, obviously, getting the fun footwork, learning the timing, practicing the time, and then try to have a high intensity 2 rounds, last 2 rounds, then last 3 rounds. And well, that's the thing. That's gonna help you to first few rounds you learn, then you work on points, you find their get openings, they confuse them, you distract them, you give that sense that you're winning. You're winning by seeing better, by reacting better. Boom, boom, boom. Stuff like that. Let them punch counter. Let them punch counter, especially when you're a shorter boxer like me. And then you know that you practice, that you have that pace for last 3 rounds, where you are like, you can actually go a bomb, boom, 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 boom. You can really press. You can throw harder, more explosive volume combos, and all of a sudden, you have championships rounds in your pocket. Of course, you're gonna have a resistance. Of course, there's gonna be opponents. There might be opponents that just gonna go try to come at you in the beginning with high pace. Don't get frustrated. Don't think that they're so good. There are a lot of sprinters in boxing, especially if they're good hard punchers and knockout artists. They're gonna try to intimidate you. That's okay. Let them get there. Let them throw those punches. Just play with it. You can do it from the closer area and just you know get your, as long as you get your right distance, right pace, right, you feel that you're not really getting damaged, and you let them get tired. That's okay. So they're gonna be fighters that's just gonna come at you. Bah, 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 bah. That's okay. Combination of footwork, timing. Try to counter them once you start seeing openings. Try to outbox them, in your own pace throughout the certain rounds. Obviously, they're gonna try the same. If they're smart, they might be like, okay, first round, I'm wearing myself off. They might pace it down, and they're gonna be like a chess game in between you. But then you know that you train those last 3 rounds, that you can go higher pace without really getting tired. Obviously, you might get tired, but you know that you're confident in that because you trained it that way. So when you put that thinking in your training, even in regular sparrings, heavy back, I don't know, whatever, everything else you do, that helps you to prepare differently. Okay, keep scrolling up. Okay, so what is your resistance to, or your speed, or just general better? I didn't get the question. This is the first time watching someone live, and it well, uh, welcome. Okay, interesting. Never argue as a ginger girl. Feel free. Agree to disagree. Uh, uh, I don't know. Okay, let me drink water. Uh, yeah. So basically, it is what it is. Yeah, just putting the thought to it, making more of exciting journey. It's like playing chess. What is the beauty of playing chess? I'm not a good chess player, but you learn the combinations, you learn the tactics, this and that. Well, then you have a fluidity. The higher level you get, all the grandmasters, they don't see it as just the combo. They see a process, the strategy, and this is basically how it's in boxing. Huh, thanks for the knowledge. Hey, youngest, thank you very much. Thanks for the super chat donation. Highly appreciate it. Uh, yeah, that just helps you grow the channel, stay on the track. So, yeah, thank you very much. How many tattoos you have? Around 5 tattoos total. My husband says, strength and explosive muscle action does not to get optimized with bodybuilding training, but will have some strength help. But you are not trying to get stronger when you do bodybuilding more like a hypertrophy oriented training. You're just trying to get bigger. Yes, it's actually a good point. Unless you really want to increase your muscle weight to get get up in the weight classes, there might be some combined training like hypertrophy with strength. But strength is always more optimal and complementary to the combat sports. Also, when you train strength, you don't really grow that much. You actually don't. That's why some of the power lifters are not as big as bodybuilders for their weight class, but they can lift twice or third time as much as they weight, and that's quite impressive, right? Because strength works, the pattern works a little bit differently than a lot of people think. Oh, the balloon challenge. Sorry, I forgot the balloons, but I haven't seen balloons here. I don't know. I looked at the supermarket once, I think, and at least there they didn't have it. Oh, Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano's record, undefeated record, uh, with his, yeah, like the real record, because at that time he wasn't ducking anyone. So yeah, one of the legendary ones. But there are also others, like calling someone like even Rocky, calling us the best out of the best. But yeah, there's so much others. There's so many others. They're like stylistically, the dominance, their records. There are fighters that have like 100+ fights in their records, and so he's arguable, definitely one of the greatest. Okay. Sugar Ray Robinson, yeah, Sugar Ray Robinson. I think he was the one of the key boxers that everything, like the modern boxing evolved from, like Ali, Tyson, the Patterson, like a lot of boxers of the great eras were inspired by Sugar Ray Robinson. And it's funny because that guy didn't even love boxing. That he looked at it as a job. That was his job. He was like, as long as I get paid, I'll do it. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more rope skipping. Since we're doing playfully the footwork, the shadow boxing combinations, different type of like that kind of training. So yeah, the rope skipping here. And again, even there, like I'm not tired after that much moving, after throwing those combos, because even here, when it's light work, I pace myself more. This is what I would want to do in fight. Okay, so you learn how to the rope skip, then you do shifts to help to pace it better. Then you do double, uh, a double steps like 1, 2, shift, 1, 2, other side, 1, 2. Then you learn how to extend your legs and like a high knees, and then the swing, 1, 2, and that is the key moment. This is helps to pace it. So I can go for a few minutes like that. If I trip, I just continue without stopping the bouncing. This is how boxers actually learn to pace. 1, 2. Good with the music. Turn on some rhythmic music and just pace it. You see, I tripped. No problem. I just continue. When people train, you got when people say you're gonna train a lot, volume wise, this is what we're talking about. You gradually increase the amount of you bouncing, doing the footwork, doing the boxing technique, waves, putting a little bit thought to it, you do the majority of time. That's what you do. Hard resistance training, hard boxing, back session, or burnout, that is a minority training. Most of the training is actual pacing, moving, building up the good patterns for it. Aaron Mike, I'm his type of boxer. Me too. Have Uncle Mike is my one of my top favorite. And peekaboo, that's I use a lot of peekaboo elements. With my guard is I'm not keeping it that way. I use, but the head movement, my body complexion is quite, you know, good for peekaboo. But even there, then I realized, well, if I do only peekaboo, I'm gonna get tired quickly. So now I'm training a lot of IQ training, strategy, trying to see. So you're not just throwing punches, you're not just getting into fight and flight response. You try to see, you try to learn how to see through when you are under the pressure. That is the boxing. Martian stayed in camp, he never stopped training, his endurance was legendary. And here is the thing, that's what I'm saying. Also, what I'm doing right now, this is not a camp training yet. This is a gradual build-up. But even if I would never compete, this is something that I would do. I'm willing to do for the rest of my life. Why? Because it helps me to stay on track. It helps me to be in the mentality of always be ready. I rather train like this, and someone is like, you know what? Let's get you a fight, and I'm like, well, I'm ready. I'm actually am because I've been doing this nonstop. Not because I'm preparing for that one fight and this is when I start training. No, because this is my lifestyle. This is my mentality. And this is something that I encourage everyone. Find their journey, find their routine, and have that baseline activity where they build strengths and muscle mass, when they learn the skill set, the coordination, when they just and all of that affecting your cognitive abilities too. So even if you do a little bit every day, or you have certain sessions per week, but you do that consistently, well, long term you become more efficient in whatever career or business you have or work you do. You become a proficient with the relationship with people. You're more something flew towards me. You're basically more self-centered, more observing, more pacing in the real life too. So that's, well, when I talk about the longevity in sports and in life, that's what I'm talking about. They switched it to 12 rounds before they fought 15 rounds. That's true. Oh yeah, sorry. That's actually correct. I actually don't remember exactly when they started switching it, but yeah, you write it down, guys, if you remember, or if you can Google it right now. Okay, okay, let's continue. Again, more rope skipping. This on its own is basically a good. It contributes into your footwork, 100%. So you learn how to. I'm not in professional boxing yet. I'm preparing to have my first fight. probably within the next few months, but I don't have a professional record yet. I will broadcast on my channel once I have the fight set up. Try explosive jump squats. That one I don't know how to do it. I always wondered how, but I need to look at the technique. I actually need to watch the tutorial how to do it because never figured out how to do it. Did you ever do any other sport? I mean, I did other martial arts, just more for fun. BJJ. I did dancing, Georgia national dancing before. But yeah, I wish you good luck. Thank you. Yeah, luck. Luck is one of the things I definitely might need. Uh, okay, well, since you're here, guys, I'm gonna do double unders. I was actually going and pacing quite well. Just my top was a little bit pulling down, so gotta keep that one up. Let me do it, and well, you try to count how many double unders I'll do. Okay. Ah, my hair. That was 40 something. Well, I don't know. Did you count? I could do more, 100%, but my hair got tied up. 48. I think I tripped on 48, so it was 47. Oh, trust me, CTE the thing, 100%. Well, that's the beauty of boxing. As much as it's one of the sports that people get CTE in, the risks of getting CTE in the lighter weight classes and in the females is lower. And the better defense you have, the better fluidity, and better you neutralize your opponent's attempts to throw heavy punches. And very important for the preparation, no heavy sparrings at all. Some technical sparrings, even some combination mastering. So very clean communication with the sparring partners, with your coach, and having that mindset in the gym. A lot of people get CTE, unfortunately, during that super relentlessly heavy training and heavy sparrings. And yeah, no, thank you. I'm not signing up for that one. Show us exposed shadow boxing, mod followed by draw back, 1-2 draw, back high kick. Well, I'm not doing kicks right now. Okay. Well, good for you. That many squats. Okay. So again, another pacing. So now I can do is just 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here we go. So, let me just check something. Okay, I'm planning to continue my training a little bit later too, and I'll try to live stream that one as well. So, yeah, let's see. Also, my phone's gonna die at some point, so I will have to recharge it. Another question: do you believe any of that training would be often use if you were fighting and untrained man. Not fighting, self-defending, 100%. I would use biting and all the dirty stuff if I would have to self-defend myself, 100%. And they obviously run away. Also, that skill set helps me in the coaching, where I coached my husband, who's 188 centimeters tall and big guy, and now he knows how to fucking punch and kick. So I basically trained myself a bodyguard. So yeah, guys, like that's trying to demotivate, and I'm not saying you're doing that to me, but a lot of guys try to demotivate girls to, oh, you're not going to be able to do that, why are you even doing that? Well, because it's better to do it rather than not. There's so much more benefits. We're not talking about delusion. Women that are fighting and training, there might be some delusional ones who uh, uh, who's are a little bit, getting a stardom um, disease, or how you call that. But most of women train to be more confident, to be healthier, to have a good skill set. Like it just makes them feel good. Community, making a lot of good friends, and actually also potential to meet a good spouse in that environment. Yada yada yada. Then nothing is better when you're a woman, and at some point you have kids, and you're a fighter, and you can train your kids. I think that's something I'm looking forward in my life. Like even this part of the journey, fights and potentially, doing few professional fights. That is not the most important thing. That's just a part of the journey. So yes, it's better as a girl to do it rather than not to. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not again. I'm not being like cocky here or anything like that. I know I heard a lot of guys doing that. Well, why you're demotivating someone else, whether girl, boy, or someone, go and do it yourself. That's going to benefit you too. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Thank you. Same to all of you guys. I don't want to defend. I will offend. I want to. You want to. Uh, you want to defend a little bit. Actually, yeah. Let me just move a little bit here. Again, back to the shifts. I'm gonna do. Actually, let me do it on the here on the back. So doing a little bit more of the heavy bag work, including shifts. Okay, because that's something that I want to implement. So the focus is specifically on that one. Okay. Yeah, I think they're starting class here, guys. I think guys are starting class here. Pretty much done. So, yeah, a few more minutes. Oh, 150 likes, yeah. Let's get there. Nice day to you too, guys. Good work. I'm trying. Those left hooks are heavy. That's what I'm saying. I think my heavy hooks, sorry, my left hooks are heavier. So Coach Ann is having a training. Whew. Coach Ann, что у нас сегодня? Что у вас сегодня? А? Что? Техника. Okay, so yeah, so let me show you a little bit of the class. This is Coach An. So he's a very good boxer, good coach. He's going to be on the Saturday this time. And this is the class. Since I already trained technique and stuff, I'm just going to rest and pace a little bit. I'm going to wrap up this live stream, but I'll come back later in another one. But yeah, let's get to the 50 likes first. What time is at 6 p.m. Yeah, Becky Lynch. Everyone compares me to her. Your right hook is fast. It's because of the leverage. So again, I do, because I'm a left side, a shift, and I'm at the leverage position. So it's not just a snap, it's rotation, but it also gives me leverage on my left side. So that's why it makes sense to launch 2 punches. I can just do like 1, 2, but I need to put myself into habit doing 1, 2, 2 punches, not just one in the end. Otherwise, kind of, yeah, it's good to shift position, but you want to land those 2 clean punches, right? 3 might be, you don't want to exhaust yourself too much, but 2, 1, 2 snappy punches is like a good middle ground. It's 6 a.m. in America, yes, I know. It's Nha Trang Sport tonight, yeah, feel free to join, but you're going to have to come to Vietnam, Nha Trang City. She's preparing to fight the whole game. Well, something time. Yeah, basically I'm preparing gradually. I'm showing you the process. Thanks for explanation. I'll practice that. Yeah, good. I'm glad if it's helpful. Just drink water. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap that one up in a bit. Let's get to 50 likes. Says as it was mentioned in chat, and yeah. Well, he sometimes appears in the camera. Just doesn't like to be there all the time. I'm a champ. Well, good for you, Igor. Keep going on your journey. I'm looking at my steps. How many steps 18K steps total. It's been a lot of moving today. What do you think about UFC White House event? Well, the funniest thing was when Trump was like, "It's gonna be super event, 9 championship fights, all of them championship. Dana is even holding back those fights for 6 months to have it on the card." And like people like, what are you talking about? It's like 8 weight classes. I mean, that might be included women's divisions too, but yeah, it's just funny. Like even if it wasn't true, because President said, well what they can do now about that. So it was quite funny. For more like we can send this woman a real gym shot. Sure. You will appear. Yeah, my husband will make a small appearance. Okay, guys. Well, I'm waiting for 2 more Okay, two or one more like, and I'm gonna wrap it up and then come back a little bit later. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I laughed my ass when I heard that first time. It's like talking like this, like there's like something is happening, and I want to describe it. Yeah. Anyways, it will be fun, though. I hope it will be fun. All jokes aside, keep up the great work. You got my sub. Kung Fu Annie, thank you. Kung Fu Kenny. Okay, Kung Fu Kenny, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Um, that means a lot, guys. I mean, I wouldn't get to 11K plus subscribers if not you, obviously, right? So thank you very much. Okay, well, thanks, guys. Gotta wrap it up now, and I actually see you soon. I'm gonna recharge my phone and live stream again. Okay. Thank you very much, Connor. Thanks, appreciate it. I'll be back within maybe an hour.